Hello everyone, and welcome back to another deck profile. I know it's been a minute, but I was kind of waiting for the new Ice Barrier stuff to finally come out. This is in the most recent pack, Battles of Legend Terminal Revenge. There's not just stuff, if you're a water duelist, there is not just stuff for Ice Barrier. There's a couple other good stuff that we got in here that's really helpful and makes things a little cheaper, but I'll get into that when we get into the video. This is the Ice Barrier box. Really simple with this one, but I thought that kind of went nicely with this. So really happy with this one. Made quite a few changes to the deck because we got so many new cards, and let's get right into it. So first we have an amazing new monster. We have Gyarados. Not sure how to pronounce him, but he's the swordsman of the Ice Barrier. While you control another Ice Barrier monster, your opponent cannot activate the effects of monsters in their graveyard, which is really, really good. But also, more importantly, if you control an Ice Barrier, you can special summon him, and then he'll special summon on, or either you get his effect on normal or special, but you can special summon him. That's the way you bring him out, is you can special summon him if you control another Ice Barrier, and when you special summon, you can summon a level 5 or lower Ice Barrier monster from a hand or the graveyard, which is incredible. Such a good card. He's level 6 and he's a tuner. So good. Oh, sorry. Then we have the other new card that we have, Mirror Mage of the Ice Barrier. This is a level 2 tuner, so another tuner that we got, but we kind of needed it. We needed some better tuners. You contribute one other effect monster, special summon up to 3 Ice Barrier tokens, Aqua level 1s, and if you do, increase this card's level by that number. Also, you can't special summon except for water synchro monsters after you use that effect, but we have ways to get around that. If this card is sent to the graveyard, even from the deck, you can add one of your Ice Barrier cards that is banished or in your deck to your hand. So it is so good. An amazing card. You can only use each effect of Mirror Mage once per turn. But both of these cards are amazing, and I'm thinking about experimenting with this because the first effect might work really well, despite it not being, in other decks, I mean, as like a generic water that we might be able to experiment with. So, because of the token generation. Granted, it locks you into synchros, but there might be some cool shenanigans we can do with that. Then we have All Reliable, Revealer of the Ice Barrier. She is still your starter. Still the card you want to normal summon at the very beginning of your turn. While you control another Ice Barrier, your opponent cannot tribute summon, which, there's stronger ones. But the more important effect is you can discard one card, special summon one Ice Barrier tuner from your deck, which can be any of these, honestly. You can do tribute, summon him, and that gets you your level 10 synchro, the new card that we got. But there's a much better play that I'll show off in a minute. I'll do a test hand for you guys. The other one is if you would discard or send cards from the hand to the graveyard to activate an Ice Barrier monster's effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard instead of one of those cards. So, pretty good. Not bad. That effect, for me, hasn't come up that often, but it will happen. Speaker for the Ice Barrier. While you control another Ice Barrier, you can defense monsters your opponent controls cannot change their battle position. It's okay. The only one that so far that I would say has like a decent on field and why you would want to keep it on the field is probably Swordsman. Because then your opponent can activate monster effects, so that's pretty good. Once per turn, if you control an Ice Barrier monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. If you control an Ice Barrier monster, you can banish this card from your graveyard, special summon one Ice Barrier token. So those are the two effects that we do care about, being able to special summon itself and also the token generation. And I personally play the 3 Wayne. I know it's kind of weird going first, but I kind of have a way around it. But I think it does help a lot, because the way you special summon it is if it's like Cyber Dragon. If your opponent controls a monster and you control an Ice Bearer, you can special summon him. But his on-field effect is pretty good too. Spells and traps from the field to your opponent's graveyard are banished instead. Another on-field. But more importantly, when he's normal or special summoned, you can add an Ice Bearer or Spell or Trap from your deck to your hand. Pretty good. Search out any of them. And then, as you know, if you search a Spell or Trap, that means you can get Medallion, and Medallion gets you any card. So basically, Wayne can search you out any card through Medallion. I play 1 Defender. The Fox, you already know. The Fox is amazing. I love this card. Essentially, how I describe it to people is if you put this card in defense mode, and he has the lowest stat on your side of the field, so like 16, 17. Well, that one has 1,000, but you never keep her on the field. But point is, your opponent's monsters cannot attack with monsters that have higher attack than this card's defense, which is amazing. And if this is the lowest stat, either out of attack or defense, basically your opponent just can't attack you, is the way that I look at it. It's a level 3 tuner as well, so you can do 3 and 5. You know, that makes an 8. Pretty good. I play 1 Zoojin of the Ice Bearer. You contribute this card, special summon 1 level 5 or higher Ice Bearer monster from your hand. It's okay. I usually don't use that effect that often, but the other effect does come up. You can target 1 level 3 or higher water monster you control. I'm sorry, if this card is in your graveyard, except for the turn that it was sent there, you can target 1 level 3 or higher water monster you control, reduce its level by exactly 2, and if you do, special summon it. But banish it when it leaves the field. It just gives you more bodies on the field to like synchro climb, and especially to do stuff like Zero Dragon or Trishula where they need like 2 non-tuners instead of just 1. So you can't just do like a 5 and a 4. You need like a 3, a 3, and a 3. You know, stuff like that. So, she's pretty cool. Then we have Hexa. While you control another Ice Bearer monster, monsters your opponent controls lose 500 attack and defense. You never keep him on the field, though. He's too small, but also his effect is too good to keep him on the field. I mean, his like climbing effect. During the main phase, you can send 1 level 3 or lower Ice Bearer monster from your deck to the graveyard, and if you do, this card's level becomes the same as that monster. We don't really care about the level manipulation so much, but that is also why she's here, so you have a level 2 to go into. 3, 2, and we have another 2 here, and then a 6. The more important part is that you're sending a card to the graveyard, probably Mirror Mage, so you send the Mirror Mage to get the search off, and then you go off from there. That's the more important part about Hexa. Usually I summon Hexa off of Revealer. And the grand return of Ryo. Ryo is amazing now just because you can get him out so easily. This card is extremely annoying. It's not once per turn or anything. It's just an inherent effect. It doesn't activate. When an effect resolves that was activated by your opponent's effect monster on the field, they can discard 1 card. If they do not, that effect is negated. So it is just a multi-turn negate. Basically, if they want to activate a monster effect, they have to expel more and more resources. And as we know, discards are actually it's pretty expensive or pretty costly to do, especially if you're not planning on it. So, like I said, I'll get into the combos in a minute. But we'll finish up with the monsters here. We have Ice Jade Ran, of course. This card is absolutely busted. It can immediately make our new Synchro Dragon, as you know, level 10. And this just got reprinted in this pack, so it's more affordable than ever. If you're a water player, like, best card ever. This card, 100%. And we also play Ice Jade Tremora as well to go along with it. Usually what I find is it going either specialing Wayne, because it's hard to do on the first turn, and then you can draw a bunch of cards to special Wayne off of that and get a search again. Or somehow Ryo gets stuck in your hand, which it never happens, but I'm just saying if it does, you can special Ryo or Swordsman, because if you special Swordsman, then he brings out another card for free. So it'd be like Tremora, discard Tremora, special Swordsman, and then Swordsman specials Wayne, and then you get another search, and yeah, just pop off. But yeah, that's it for my monsters. Go right into the spells. As always, I play a lot of monsters because I like the theming of it, and yeah, huge fan of the new cards. These are absolutely amazing. It's finally something that the deck needed to be playable and functional in like regular Yu-Gi-Oh! Now, granted, this still isn't the most amazing deck, but it is for sure fun. I play the 3 Medallion because, of course, why wouldn't you? It's not once per turn. Just add any Ice Bearer you want monster from the deck to the hand. I also like the new alternate art we got for it, which is pretty nice. Then we play Winds over the Ice Bearer. Pretty interesting. I actually just had a game where I kind of got stuck with a couple of big monsters that yes, were locking down my opponent, but I couldn't get over his monster with like my littler monsters. So I attributed them with this card, attributing any number of Ice Bearer monsters, special summon from the deck that many level 4 or lower Ice Bearer monsters. So I just kind of reset my field with different levels, and I was able to make a different monster to wipe his field. So, pretty good. Also, you can banish this card, not the turn that it was sent there, but you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one of your Ice Bearer monsters that is banished or in your graveyard and add it to your hand. So, nice little recursion. You can get some of your cards back in your deck, especially like your extra deck if you used a copy of something already. Then I play the 2 Freezing Chains. 3 I think is too much. I think 2 is just right, especially when it stays on the field. When this card is activated, you can target 1 level 4 or lower Ice Bearer monster in a graveyard, special summon it. So amazing. I found myself just bringing back Hexa with that card. I'll show you the combo. Like I said, it's completely ridiculous. Then we have Monsters Born, Harpies, and Foolish Burial Goods. That is it for the spells. Some of this stuff is completely, you can edit some of it down, of course, just change this Monster Reborn for something else, and yeah, definitely. But I do absolutely 100% recommend the triple Ice Barrier. You don't even have to wait to set it and then to use it and then go to the graveyard. No, there's so many cards in here that discard for cost that you can just discard Ice Barrier and get an immediate search off of it. So really, really good. We will go into the extra deck. Playing, actually, I'll go the other way. Trishula, Zero Dragon of the Ice Barrier. This card is really good. It's one of the older ones that we have. When this card is synchro summoned, you can banish up to 3 cards your opponent controls. So good. If the synchro summon card and its owner's control is destroyed by an opponent's card, you can special summon 1 Trishula from your extra deck or graveyard, and its attack becomes 3,300. Then have the attack of any face-up monsters your opponent controls also negate their effects. So it is completely absurd when you kill this card. You get a lot of benefit from it. Negates all the cards on the field, and also Trishula goes off, the original Trish, and does more banishing after that. So good. But here's the new card. The moment we've all been waiting for, Lancia. Lancia, unfortunately, I don't know why, for some reason, they did not make this card an Ice Barrier card. It doesn't even say it in the effect, nothing. It does not say this card is always treated as an Ice Barrier. No, nothing. It is Lancia, Ancestral Dragon of the Ice Mountain, so it is not an Ice Barrier. Remember that. Once per chain, though, if your opponent special summons a monster, you can special summon 1 Ice Barrier monster from your hand, deck, extra deck, or graveyard, basically anywhere. It is And not only that, but you can activate it twice per turn, this effect. And of course, then you can change one attack position monster your opponent controls to defense position as well, as if that wasn't enough. If this face-up sink or summon card in its owner's control leaves the field because of an opponent's card, you can special summon one Ice Bearer, Synchro Dragon, Synchro monster from your extra deck, and it is treated as a Synchro summon. So, let's say you're getting a lot of advantage, just keep bringing stuff out with Lancia, and they're like, oh, I gotta get rid of this thing. Then you drop a Trishula on them. Okay, banish 3 cards immediately. Okay, then when they're like, okay, well now I gotta get rid of this thing. Okay, they destroy this. Then Trishula comes out. It's completely nuts. This card is amazing. It's exactly what this deck needed to get some of the other like bigger ones, like Ryo is the biggest example that I can think of. A reliable way to get him out on the field to stun your opponent. But yeah. Then we have, of course, our other faithful level 10s. You already know what they are. Sword Soul, Cheng Yang, you already know, and Ymir. The golden combo. Which I'll tell you right now, you can very easily get the 3 of these out together almost consistently. So, on the first turn. Then we have Croc, very important to the deck, as well as Coral Dragon. These two kind of work in tandem together. Then we have White Orb Whale, Gungnir, and Dragite. And we have Toad and Bahamut, of course, and Coral Anemone. Pretty solid. Here I'll go into the, I'll do like a test hand, so I'll see you in a second. All right, so the deck is shuffled. I'm gonna draw my 5 cards randomly. Like I said, I just shuffled this all up. Pretty good, not bad. So, I'm going to start off with Normal Summoning Revealer. We're going to use as our effect to discard 1 card. We're going to discard that Ice Bearer that we drew. I'm going to draw, or special Hexa. Hex's effect goes off. We will send 1 level 3 or lower Ice Bearer, which I will send the Mirror Mage. Shuffle. Mirror Mage's effect goes off to search. We want to search out Speaker, but we already drew into her, so we can draw one of our other cards that we might need. So we'll get our Swordsman, but usually it will be Speaker, the one that you need. So we'll shuffle. Then we will special our Speaker because we control another Ice Bearer. Overlay into our Bahamut Shark. Use Bahamut. Activate his effect. This is all assuming that they have no hand traps, of course. Speaker, send. Summon Toad. Then we will link off. Use these 2 for our Marincess Coral Anemone. Use an enemy's effect to bring back our Mirror Mage. Put her in defense. Then we will... Oh, right here. Grab a couple dice. Oops. We will use Mirror's effect. Get rid of Marincess Coral Anemone. Make 3 tokens by her effect. We will use her and the first token, so she becomes level 5, and this is a level 1 token and a tuner, so we will make a level 6. That will be our Coral Dragon. We're not going to use its effect. We are going to then banish our Speaker from the graveyard to make another token. We'll use 1, 2, 3, and he's a level 6 tuner, so that makes a 9. So because of Coral Dragon's effect and Croc's effect, we used 3 non-tuners, the 3 tokens, to make that. So we draw 3, and then we draw an additional 1 because of Coral Dragon's effect when it's sent to the graveyard. So that is 4 cards total that we just drew. So we already have these 2 on the field, and we have 7 cards still in our hand. From here, there's so many options that we can do. So first you can start with Freezing Chains. I like to do this one, Hexa. Get rid of the Croc. That is our level 10. We can get our Lancia on the field, put them up here. We don't have any other lane cards, so we can put her up there. Then we can do, let's do Medallion. We will grab our, now we didn't draw into Aerogene, but let me do this. Let's put Defender back in here. I know we didn't draw into it, but I want to show what happens when you do draw into it. And we'll grab General. So we have these. This goes to the graveyard. So we will then use Tremora. I'm sorry, discard Tremora to use Special Swordsman. Swordsman's effect, we are going to special out our Revealer again, because she's a level 4. Synchro again. Get our Ice Jade Ymir. Then we can, honestly, we can just discard Ryo. Don't need him in the hand. To special Ran, get a token, level 3 token. Then Synchro again, use her. And make Ching-Ying. Either here or here, it doesn't matter. And we have 2 cards left over in our hands. We can, if we wanted to, somehow get this in the graveyard, so we can use that effect. But we also have Tremora if one of our cards gets destroyed by battle, to bring a card back from the graveyard. So we ended with Ymir, Ching-Ying, Toad, and Lancia. Which, so assuming your opponent goes next, they special summon out a monster. Then what you can do, and we didn't even banish this to search or anything. So we could have still searched another level 5 or higher monster. So actually we could have done that. Search, banish that, send her to add her to the hand. I'm sorry, I did forget that. But yes, so that goes back to the graveyard. But we could have done that to get her to the hand, regardless of not drawing her or not. So I like to wait till the end to use Ice Barrier, because you never know what you're not going to draw off the 4 cards off of Croc. So little tip there, just wait to use this to see what you need, because a lot of them are level 5 and higher, and you can get any of them to your hand. Yeah, assuming your opponent goes, you can use Lancey's effect once to bring out our Ryo, and that way every time they activate a monster effect, they have to discard a card on top of that. Otherwise, it's negated. Then if they go again, I would probably bring out your Swordsman, because his other effect is really good. While you control another Ice Barrier, your opponent cannot activate the effects of monsters in the graveyard. So we have an Omni Negate, we have a Quick Effect Banish, and then when a card is banished, you banish another card on the field, banish a card in the graveyard. It's just, it's banana. Oh, and Destruction and Banishment protection as well from Aerogene. So it's just, it's nuts. Really, really good, and we still have, like I said, 2 cards in the hand after all of that. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think, and we'll see you in the next one.